1, 2, 3, 4. Our next selection is found on page 10, number 44, in case anyone forgot. It's Oh, Susanna. Here we go. Okay, here's 3 beats. Ready, Rach? Okay. 1, 2, 3. While our percussion is getting set, let's introduce some of our band members. We'll start in, not the very way back machine, but we'll start with our low brass. We're lucky enough to have these wonderful trombone women of rock and roll, and we have Max on the baritone horn. We have a nice big round of applause for our low brass. And we have in this portion of the room, which is a large part of our band, we are proud enough to have many, many talented saxophones. We're actually missing quite a few because some have taken ill, and a couple are trying out for some traveling soccer team. So this is a depleted section of our, but I think we've got it covered with the alto saxes. So let's give them a big round of applause. And on the other side, we have our wonderful trumpet players. So let's hear for our trumpet players. And I'd like to point out that 2 of our 4th grade trumpet players actually made this year's 2011 All-City Band, which is a really big deal. No band is complete without our clarinet section, so we also have an aspiring 3rd grader who's been coming to practice because he has to be here early with his brother, and we found out early on that he is studying the clarinet, so he's getting a little extra practice and a little jump on next year. And of course, our wonderful flute players in the front row here. And we are fortunate enough, I don't always have this, but I'm really lucky here at Tomas. We have 2 4th grade oboe players. Who were inspired by our 2 5th grade oboe players, so I'm very, very thrilled. So our next selection is Orally. Here we go. Instruments up, not too fast. Bum, 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 bum. Right. Good posture, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. to France, and we're going to do a little bit of Frere Jacques, and I don't always get to do it in a round because some students just can't comprehend the round thing. But these students are so quick and they're so talented and gifted, we're able to do it in a two-part round. So we're going to wow you with our rendition of Frere Jacques in a round. Okay, we're going to do the back 2 rows. You guys are group 2 like we did this morning, okay? So group 2, can you raise your hand? Back 2 rows, there we go. And group 1 is the front 2 rows. Can you guys do that? Great, okay, now that we know who's 1 and 2, we're good. All right, group 1, sit up nice and tall. You're gonna start, right? Don't forget to repeat it. Not too fast, not too fast. Page 12, you okay there, Tim? You good? All right, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, group 1. Is a band arrangement which can be a challenge or a disaster. But I have to tell you, it is not a disaster. It's a wonderful selection. It's called When the Saints Go Marching In, and we don't all play the same part. So hence the word challenge comes into play. But we've worked very hard, and hopefully we'll be doing it just as superbly as the New York Philharmonic would if they were going to play this rendition. Andrew, you need a stick though, right? Get a stick, not the mallet. That's okay. There you go. Okay, drummers, you start. 1, 2, 3, 4, crash. Okay, we ready? Instruments up, everybody. Don't forget the drums start. Just mentioning that the drums start. There you go. Drums start. 1, 2, drums start. Concert would be incomplete, of course, without Old MacDonald Had a Band, but because we have, one just needs to get a little zany at times, so we call it Old MacDonald Had a Band, don't you know, from Dublin, Ireland. So here's Old MacDonald Had a Band, don't you know. Okay, instruments up, everybody. You're doing great. Sit up nice and tall. Good. Don't forget it's line 1. 1, 2, line 1, line 2, line 3. We all have that? Let's just say that. Line 1, line 2, line 1, line 2. By Jove, I think they've got it. Here we go. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. tradition that we started years ago, and again, it has grown like the Rocky Horror Picture Show into this cult. And it's called Traffic Jam. And older brothers and sisters pass down the legend of Traffic Jam, and it grows bigger and bigger every year. And the third graders, I always say this, the first thing they ask me is, are we going to be able to do Traffic Jam? And I'm like, you know, it's like some huge symphony, and I'm like, yes, of course, everybody gets to use Traffic Jam. And what we do is we go in a little time machine and we say, okay, remember when we first took that instrument out of the case and we were just so excited, it was shiny and new, and we wanted to make all this wonderful, beautiful music, and this is what came out that very first time. Okay, instruments up, guys, we're going to do it for 4 times. Remember, we're doodling, Rosa with this. Okay, ready? Instruments up. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, Traffic Jam. That's exactly what it sounded like. However, we have progressed to the next level, and before we do our final piece, I'd like to just take a moment to thank everyone in this room for getting your children here. I know everybody doesn't like to get up and get here and have an instrument and be all ready at 8 o'clock in the morning. Some people are not morning people. However, we're so happy that we're all here and everybody looks great, and they really have worked hard. And as you can attest to Traffic Jam, we've come a long way, and I only can tell you how much further they're going to do next year. When you hear them in 5th grade, you're going to be like, wow. And I'm very proud of everybody. I know they worked really hard. The school year has just flown by. But I'd like to thank, obviously, the support from Mr. Cullen and our wonderful staff here at Tamaka School. And our wonderful custodians who, without their help, none of this magic would happen. But before we do our last number, I'd just like to recognize my dear friend and colleague, Mrs. McCullum, who's retiring. So our last performance of the 2011 season for this evening is Hard Rock Blues. Don't forget to repeat it, guys. Okay. Here we go, ready? 1, sit up nice and tall. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is part 1 of tonight's festivities. We have to get this group out and get set up for the 5th grade portion of the program. So I would like to thank you so much.